Good evening YouTube and welcome back to the gaming cupboard. It's been a couple of weeks since I've put one of these videos out, so I'm sorry about that, but I've been busy on the campaign trail, obviously visiting local schools, campaigning for the YouTuber of the month, visiting hospitals, greasing politicians and promising exuberant funds to projects that probably never come to fruition. Actually, nah, I'll leave that to the actual professionals who do that kind of stuff. What I've been doing is just collecting some games for the game cupboard, and in between parts of sleep and work, maybe try and find 5 or 10 minutes to actually play said games. And unfortunately, there's no mistake. I smell that smell. It's that time of year again, and taste the air. The car boot sales are pretty much dead. So we have some pickups here, but they are from various other outlets. We've got some CEX purchases. We've got Facebook Marketplace for a change, because normally Facebook Marketplace, if you're not the first person to message, then you get SSTC, or they won't bother replying, or even if you agree some kind of deal on Facebook Marketplace, the chances are somebody will kind of undercut you and take you anyway. At least that's my experience of the bloody thing. It's a waste of time. But I managed to get a single game from Facebook Marketplace, which I'm actually quite happy about. Nothing earth-shattering, but something that I wanted for me. Facebook Marketplace, a couple of trips to CEX, and some charity shops, and an eBay one as well. Oh, and a special little shout out to Nintendo, which we'll come to all in a minute. Just before we get into those bits, just to say, if you are a visitor, if you stumbled into my little cupboard in my little corner of the world, then thank you very much for coming. I hope you enjoy what you see. If you do, remember to like, comment, subscribe to the video. Let me know what you've enjoyed, and I really hope you stay and come back for more. And if you are returning again for another video, thank you for coming back. It's very much appreciated. Your ongoing support is admirable, to say the least. Before we get into pickups that I've got, as per usual, I will mention the game that's playing in the background on the TV, distracting you from looking at me, which, is no bad thing. We have a Wii game, because not only the Retro Bear can talk about Wii games, there's some fantastic titles on there, as he said, and this is one of them as far as I'm concerned. So I picked this up earlier in the year for the mighty price of 75p. And I mean 75p. What can you get for that price? You can barely get a chocolate bar these days, so I might as well spend it on some games. So the game in question is Avatar: The Burning Earth, which, if you don't know what this is not from the god-awful James Cameron film, which was absolutely naff and raved about for far too friggin' long. This is from the Nickelodeon cartoon, which in my opinion was far superior to the film, because it actually had some kind of story which wasn't based on Fern Gully. And it's actually quite interesting. It does look a bit washed out on the big TV, though, I admit. Whether or not that's because I'm playing it through HDMI on the Wii U, I don't know. But running around, kind of a puzzle game, by the looks of it, throwing rocks about earlier. It's just, it's just a game that too good to actually pass up in that condition. And so with the car boot sales ending, I'm going to be probably doing some more kind of things like this, some gameplay videos moving forwards, some collaborations maybe with other YouTubers, just to play some of the games I've actually picked up over the years. And if there's anyone who wants to drop any recommendations of any of the games, anything you've seen that I picked up that you'd like to see me play, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I'll be sort of putting out some videos of that, because the pickups are probably going to be a little bit more scarce coming up towards the end of the year. Wake up, we're not done yet. We'll wake up, we're back. Technical difficulties, haven't even started yet. So we'll get on to the pickups. What have we actually got? So, going back to weekend before last, the first lot of pickups I made, I went to a CX, which is a little bit further afield for a change. This is the one where, if you've seen in my previous videos, I intercepted someone at the till who's trading in a load of games and managed to snipe Shenmue 2 off them for my collection, which I've been after for some time. Unfortunately, they haven't got that lucky this time. That's probably a once in a lifetime situation for me to see what stuff people are traded in. But yeah, I went in with the intention of getting some games, just going to a different CEX, seeing what they had, because they've got much more stuff than my local one. And yeah, I was interested in what kind of games they had to show. There's a few games they had in there. They had an abundance of sort of Dreamcast, N64 games, and there was a football game on the Sega The name escapes me. I think I can't remember it. I think it's like a quid game, to be honest. I don't think it's a FIFA game, but I think it's like a World Cup game. And I asked the guy if he could find it. He went away for which seemed like an absolute eternity while I was waiting. Eventually came back with, even in a hard case, this copy of the game was absolutely dreadful. To quote, Russell the Retro Bear, it definitely looked like a canal dweller. It was an absolute state. And it was a hard case as well. Normally when Saturn cases go, it's because they're cardboard cases, but this was actually in a hard case and it just looked like an absolute state. There's no manual. This was really scratched up. The case was in a state. So even for 99p, leaving that behind, which left me a little bit of money to actually buy these games. So all this is from trade credit. I didn't actually spend any of my money on this. It was just from money from games that I traded in. So the first game in question, as I say, they had some Sega Dreamcast games, and I had a look, and this was sitting there for all of £4. So I couldn't pass this up. Certainly when I had a look at it in the case, it was in such nice condition. So the game in question is Ready to Rumble Boxing, which you can see the case in really nice order. It has got a slight crack across the back, which you probably can't see. But it is all nice and complete. The case is in really good condition. It's been looked after well, or maybe just not even played. Complete with game, manual in the back there. Manual's nice and minty. Now this game, I don't know when it was released now. Will it tell me? 1999. I was going to say this was really, really, really early on in the Dreamcast life that this game came out, because I think I played it on demo, which was with the first kind of Dreamcast magazine. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure there was like a bald hairdresser dude on the front of the Dreamcast magazine. Really kind of random advert, as Sega did back then. And there was a demo disc. I'm pretty sure it had Space Channel 5 on, this, and a couple of other games. And back in the day, Ready to Rumble Boxing didn't really kind of strike me as a game that I wanted to spend £40 on. The games that I was really kind of into when the Dreamcast was out was Sonic Adventure, absolutely loved as one of the launch titles. Shortly after that, I think, what did I spend most of my time playing? Crazy Taxi, that was another absolute stonker of a game that came out on that. I'm trying to look up here to see remember what they are. What else did I play? Resident Evil Code Veronica, really sad that actually ended up being released on the PlayStation 2 in a way, because I got it for Dreamcast, absolutely loved it, and I suppose it's inevitable that they release it on another console, so it wasn't just limited, and they'd get some more money for it. But yeah, I just loved it on the Dreamcast, and the fact that they did some kind of special edition on the PS2 kind of just annoyed me a little bit. But yeah, Ready to Rumble Boxing for £4, too good to pass up. There's some Dreamcast games at the moment that have really, really come down in price. There seems to be an absolute kind of gulf between the games that are really, really cheap at the moment and the ones that are just getting expensive and just continuing to climb. So pick up some of these games while you can, while they're a decent price. Now the next game that I got from CEX, as I said, they had some N64 games. I had intended to get a couple there. They had Mission Impossible on the N64, which is £2 in CEX at the moment. And £2 for an N64 game isn't bad. Kind of kicked myself because I passed it up like a couple of weeks back and really should have got it. And I went there and thought, yeah, I'll pick it up for £2, but I was met with a nice horrible yellowed copy with a nice pink label instead of a red one, where it just left in the sun too friggin' long. So the money I had left over from that, I used to pick up this. So I picked up a copy of Diddy Kong Racing on the N64, which I think is £12 at the moment. So no point showing you the back on this one. It's only Nintendo warnings. But yeah, £12 for was arguably probably one of the best racing games on the N64. I'm sure people will disagree with me and say Mario Kart, but I really, after playing Mario Kart on the N64, think that there's got to be better games than that. That was a big disappointment, to be honest, after playing it on other systems. Even, I think it's worse than the SNES, in my opinion. Well, the SNES was a classic, so yeah. But yeah, this at the moment, I think, is going for 12 quid. So, definitely has come down in price, I think, a little bit. And for that price, I was happy to pick that up, to have that in the collection as a game I haven't got. And then the last one I picked up. So I'm doing a thing at the moment where I will always want to go into CX, have a look round on the shelf. Oh, you're going again. We're back. It's going to do that throughout the video now, isn't it? It'll be plagued by the blooming connection issues. So anyway, go through CX and always have a look at the games they have on the shelf. See if there's any steelbooks in there. If there's any unusual games, any games I haven't seen before, see if I can find something a bit unusual for the collection. And this game looked too good to pass up. So it's a Wii game for 75p. Maybe again the game of the week, or 2 weeks to be honest. I don't know. You let me know. Just, it looks so beautiful to leave behind. It is a game called Wing Island. Now I know nothing about this game, but it's obviously birds flying planes because they need to, because why wouldn't you? If you're a bird, need to fly a plane. It's complete with the game and the manual in there. And then right up in it says, come and visit our islands where endless fun awaits. What's not to love? Only with the Wii simple controls could give you the freedom to perform acrobatic feats and fly in 5 plane formations with the greatest of ease. Feel the exhilaration of soaring through the open skies. Come on, that on its own makes this game worth buying. So, featuring 3 different modes: story mode, competitive mode, and free mode. Whatever the hell free mode is. Maybe it's just free. Wing Island is fun to the power of 3. With this game, the sky is the limit, yeah. What a brilliant write-up. But yeah, it looks like a fantastic game, to be honest. It looks beautiful, and I couldn't leave it behind. Obviously, some kind of flying game. But yeah, these are the kinds of games I want to pick up and sort of give some time to actually play. So maybe in the coming weeks, so I say I'm going to do some gameplay videos. I'll be sort of playing some of those games that I picked up for 75p, just to give people an opinion of it. There's probably videos out there, but just kind of more for me to see what they're like. So yeah, that was my little trip to CEX week before last, and spent no money whatsoever. I think I had like 25p left over as well, so absolute baller. Now we'll come up to next the eBay purchase I've got. Now always try and sort of have a look out for some Saturn games on eBay if there's anything reasonable. And yeah, I've seen a couple of copies of games that I've tried for. I saw a copy of Exhumed that I put a cheeky bid on and was winning with 4 seconds to go, only to get outbid. And then another game, similar game like that, I think it was, maybe even been another copy of Exhumed. Again, I was winning and then get outbid at the last bloody second again, which just infuriates the hell out of me with these goddamn snipers. But I did manage to get a game for the collection for a really reasonable price and less than CX. I think this came in about £15 posted, which is fantastic. In a really, really nice condition on this one. It has got a slight lift in the cardboard, but I got a copy of Clockwork Knight, which I think came posted for £15, which isn't bad at all. Now, it isn't in there because I've actually given it some game time, so it is in the system. But I will show you, I've got the manual in there, and the manual is in really nice condition, quite a chunky manual. A little bit of a quirky game. I don't think it scores particularly well historically in kind of reviews, because I think this is the point that kind of 3D was really kind of hitting home and people wanted to play more 3D games. This one kind of has kind of 3D style of graphic, but in essence isn't a 3D game. But quite a nice quirky little game, one I'm happy to have for the collection, and another Saturn game to put into my collection of Saturn games coming on. And like I say, I think this cost me about 15 quid posted, so happy to have that. with my collection of Saturn games, and I will be on the lookout for a copy of frickin' Exhumed, although I might have to see Mr. Burner about getting me a copy for the time being. Yeah, so that kind of brings me on to, we'll talk about this next. So I've been waiting for this to come back for frickin' ages. Now, I think I mentioned this in one of my earlier videos, that I was having issues with a Nintendo Joy-Con, where I was getting Joy-Con drift ridiculously badly, and trying to play Link's Awakening, just constantly battling the bloody controller to actually like send Link the right way. So I was at the point where I was looking to actually pick up potentially a new thumbstick and try and fit it myself, but I don't trust myself to actually fit it, because just don't trust myself not to cock it up. So I thought I'd chance it, because I know there's a big like court case going through in America for the Joy-Con because of the Joy-Con issues people have had. So I thought I'd chance it with Nintendo, and I contacted the help support line and said, "Hi, I've been experiencing the Joy-Con drift issue with a controller. I hear this is something that you're fixing for free, and I need to return this." And they said, "Yeah, that's right. We do fix it for free. You'll need to send the Joy-Con to us to be tested. Once tested and analysed, if that is what the issue is, we'll fix it and return it to you. If not, then they'll contact me by email, and if it's something else, they'll let me know before fixing it and just send it back to me." So I was like, great, absolutely. So I packaged this up and sent this off what was probably about, feels like nearly a month ago. It might be a month ago, it might be 3 weeks. But absolute freaking ages, and it got there. I was tracking it to see when it got there. It got there, and about 5 days after it actually arrived, they're like, "Yeah, we've got it, we're going to test it." And then about 4 more days went by. We tested it, not even going to look this time, and said, "Yeah, that's what the issue is, we'll sort it out." And then I got a message just to say it's been posted back. And yeah, got it in a box back from Nintendo. They've cleaned it up as well. I don't know what they've done to it, because it was a bit shiny from kind of being used, but now it feels kind of a matte finish. So I don't know if they've reshelled it or something. But yeah, done that. Sent it back with a letter saying we'll give you another 12 months warranty on. So just more of a message to anybody, if you might be having issues with the Nintendo Joy-Con, contact the customer services people, explain to them what's happened. Really, really helpful. They sort it out for free for absolutely nothing, and they get a warranty with it, which is brilliant, to be fair. So kudos to them for actually sorting that out for me, even though it took freaking ages, and I've got loads of Switch games that I really, really wanted to play. But I've got that. Anyway, so that came back sort of midweek, and these last few pickups from the last weekend. So we do the charity shop ones next. So on a Saturday morning, normally go out, because I have to go into town, normally have a look in the various charity shops. I think there's about 4, what is there, 1, 2, 3, yeah, there's 4 in total charity shops that I visit in this town. And they're usually very kind of hit and miss. I have found some decent stuff from in the past, and some bits I can trade in, but yeah, I think some of them are a little bit savvier on what games are actually worth, some not so much, but I'll always have a look and see what turns up. And it was absolutely dire this weekend. I went at most of them, there was no games whatsoever. I think they've just either been bought up by this weird, dodgy looking little like retro game shop that they have in town, which never has anything and nobody ever goes in there. But on my way back, I went into one of the charity shops, which is it's not a chain of a charity shop, and by that I mean like British Heart Foundation and all those ones. It's just an independent little one that's tucked away, and yeah, it's kind of a charity shop where they don't have shelves. They have like a dresser that somebody's donated to them, and their DVDs are actually in the dresser, so they're just kind of listed in there. And I had a look through that, and I caught my eye some Xbox and Xbox One games they had in there, and what it said on the front of it is 50p each unless otherwise marked. So I had a look, and sure enough, there was nothing on these cases to say that they were, you know, a different price. So I checked with the lady, said, "Are these all 50p?" She said yes. I was like, brilliant, can you hold on to me for me, because I'm going to have to run down the cash point and actually get some money out, because I don't have any kind of card machine or anything like that. But yeah, she put them to one side, came back, and I picked these all up. So 4 games here for 50p each. Absolutely chuffed to bits with these. Some pretty good titles, to be honest. So we'll do kind of best till last. First one being an Xbox 360 game. We've got Xbox Live Arcade. Now I don't know, people can probably tell me, is this the one that came out with the Xbox Arcade when that was released, or is it not? I don't know, but I've got the feeling it might be. So it's got on it Pac-Man Championship Edition, Uno, Boom Boom, Rocket, Luxor 2 and Feeding Frenzy. Obviously some classics in there. But yeah, for 50p, I wasn't going to leave that on the shelf. And yeah, definitely worth a go. So 50p for that game. Next up, we have WW2K15, so a wrestling game, which I know absolutely nothing about wrestling, but it's complete in there. This is in nice order. And it includes 2 generations of Sting, so obviously Walking on the Moon and Message in a Bottle. And it's got Pete Fighter 2 on the back, like celebrating the release of the game, or at least looks a bit like Pete Fighter 2. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, really, really nice condition, this one. Case in really good order. It's even kind of got the sticky bit on the side. So yeah, 50p. Happy to add that into my collection. Next one we got, again, pretty decent game this one. We've got Titanfall 2 on the Xbox One. Now, I've got the original Titanfall, and I got it on a bit of a whim, but I believe it's just an online only game. But I think this has some kind of campaign mode as well, so that's pretty decent. How's it going with it? Has it got a Brucey bonus? Xbox getting tighter. They used to give me like 2 months free Xbox Live and all the original games. They don't give that anymore. Got this. What's this? Titanfall Frontline. Challenge your friends to an epic showdown ever. Oh, on the mobile phone. Yeah. Still doing mobile phone games in things in games. They used to do that way back when. I'm pretty sure they used to advertise things for mobile phones in games. I can't remember what it was. I think I've seen some on the PlayStation 2 at some point. But yeah, I digress. Titanfall on the Xbox One at 50p. Fantastic. Maybe best till last. I don't know. I haven't played any of these games, but it certainly looks pretty cool. We got Mass Effect Andromeda. So yeah, front and back, all these in really, really, really nice condition. It's an EA game though, so I'll probably have to buy some extra like stuff just to play it. Maybe have some DLC where you have to use DLC to run the game. What's that, Toby? Someone's fallen down a well. Bless him. Yeah, so that's got an advert for a game, it's a mobile phone game as well, whatever that's about. I don't know. But yeah, so 4 games, £2. Happy days on that Saturday morning. And then later on, went into CEX to get some items. So had it in mind that I was going to go into CEX. Like I say, going up to Christmas, don't have an awful lot to spend. Didn't do a challenge on this occasion because of some games I actually wanted there. Got some Wii games. They had some Mega Drive games in where I actually looked at them. Nothing on the day took my fancy. There was a couple of Saturn games as well. I think there was what was it? Oh, the multi game. It's got like Outrun and all that on Sega Ages. That's what I'm trying to say. Sega Ages. How can you forget that, Nath? Yeah, Sega Ages they had in there. It didn't look in great condition though, so I decided instead I would spend some money and just get some budget titles that I wanted for my Wii collection while they're cheap, because unfortunately now CX, it seems the last week or so the kind of Christmas prices have crept in. They're not getting so many games from kind of from car boot traders and anything like that. They're actually kind of like just putting the price up a little bit for Christmas as people are going there to buy games rather than they are car boots and charity shops and things like that. So some of the games have gone up in price, but equally a few of them have actually gone down. So if you know what kind of prices are and if you've got some games on your watch list, it's time to have a look and see maybe those games have gone down a little bit in price, or if you've got some stuff to trade, you might get a little bit more for it now if you've been holding on to it. So yeah, got some budget Wii titles there first of all. First one we've got for a whole £1. This one, I've got Rampage Total Destruction on the Wii. It's a game that I've looked at several times to pick up, and it's normally been in pretty kind of rubbish order, but in this occasion for a whole £1, really, really, really nice condition. Obviously Rampage, an original arcade, has been released on so many systems over the years, and I think by the looks of it, well, they can't maybe see that. I think that is Maybe it's unlockable, I don't know. But the original Rampage game looks like it's in there somewhere. Now, I almost did leave this behind because for whatever reason, just kind of got it in my head. It might be kind of a foreign copy, it might just be a European copy, but it's got some writing there, which I think is that Swedish potentially. Maktje klar om rond till rasen. Sounds it. But yeah, monsters on the loose, get ready to roam, rage and rampage. So yeah, for 99p, I thought even if it's going to be in English because English on the back, I'll pick that up and have that into my collection. Right, next up, I spent a little bit more on this one. I hope Retro Bear's sitting down. I spent all of £4 on this one. So it's a game series I hear kind of a lot about, and the second one seems to go for an astronomical price. I think the second one's somewhere between, it's either 22 or 28 quid, but this one being £4 at the moment seemed too good to pass up. So I got a copy of No More Heroes on the Wii, which is £4 at the moment. Again, a really, really nice copy of this. Case is in really nice condition. Comes complete game and manual. And I just gave him a really hard time in there, to be honest, because now people have been saying about this, but I've done it for some time. Is in going up to the counter and I'll say to them, can you check if they've got the manuals, please? When you just they've got the manuals, and I like to look at the disc before you put them in there, because being a collector, I want to have the manuals, and if they don't have the manuals, I'm not going to be interested. So I said to the guy, can you check that these have got the manuals, please? I want to see the disc before you put them in, just to make sure they're okay, because I'm a collector. And must be the most difficult customer ever. Probably slightly better than when I went in the other week drunk, but yeah, he was really helpful, and checked to make sure they all had the manuals, showed me the manuals, showed me this before they put them in there. Unfortunately, all the 4 I wanted had them, so happy days. So yeah, got No More Heroes for £4. Next one I picked up for £1.50, so next to nothing really. Again, I got a copy of Mad World. It's a Sega game. This kind of reminds me a bit of the graphics you get for Sin City, kind of all the like black and white and red. And I haven't played this game, but it's a game that I kind of looked at on the shelf and just thought, it looks really interesting. For £1.50, I'll pick it up and just have it for the collection, because I think it's one of those kind of games that, well, I've kind of heard of it, so I don't know if it's got a bit of a cult following. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, join Jack, a renegade contestant in the world's deadliest game show, Death Watch. Only the bloodiest, most creative tactics will help you keep you alive in the ultimate fight for survival. So yeah, so lots of blood, lots of weapons attacked. It's got a big old frickin' chainsaw there, so there's nothing not to love. Come back to life. Yep. So for £1.50 to add the collection, Mad World on the Wii. Again, a really nice condition for that price. And then the last one I wanted, one I've had my eye on for the Wii for some time to add to my collection, and I saw it had gone down to £2, so a bargain at this stage. I had it on my list. When I got there though, I was in two minds whether or not to get this, because as you'll see, well, I'll show you what it is. It's Monster Hunter Tri or 3 on Nintendo Wii for £2. It's gone down. I remember this being a £5 not too long ago. But what kind of was almost the case of, do I buy it, do I not, is the multi-pack version. You can't tell by the big 12 on the front there that kind of partly gives it away. You'll know by the back because there's no kind of writing on there at all. So I was a bit like, bugger, do I pick it up, do I not? Because I'd really want the kind of original edition for that, because I'm picky like that. But when it opened up, when I got to look at it, it is complete with the disc and the manual in there, and it's got a nice little Brucey bonus in that, if I can find it. It's funny, it was here a second ago. It has got the Club Nintendo card in here. There it is. Club Nintendo card, unscratched, and it's got all the kind of manual, it's got the warning book, and it's got a little Wii kind of what's coming out book, all in really, really minty condition. So I kind of like took it to account, thinking, well, if it hasn't got the manual, I'll know to leave it behind. But actually, seeing it's got all that in it, I couldn't leave it behind for £2. So happy to pick this up in my collection. And if at a later stage I find one that has the text on the back of the case, can always swap it out and keep the better copy. So yeah, that's Monster Hunter Tri. Now, as well as that, like I said, this shop had some Mega Drive games, and I don't know if a Sega collector had gone and traded in all their stuff, but they actually had some Game Gear games in. And Game Gear games, I'm always a little bit reluctant to buy from CX because normally I find that the postage kind of is, half of what the game's worth, and it feels a bit rubbish to kind of spend so much on the postage when the game's only kind of a £2 game. So I mean, if it's something you really, really want and it's that price, absolutely. But it's kind of nice to go into places and just have a look around and find stuff sometimes. So I went in there and saw these on the shelf, and I was like, yeah, well, I saw this on the shelf, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So the game in question that was sitting there, and as I say, caused this guy some grief, is Shinobi on the Game Gear, which was £3. So like I say, if I had to buy this over the website, it would have been an extra £1.50, so it would have been half again for what the game costs. And I saw this a review of this on Tamara Cade, who's a channel I've been kind of following from YouTube in a month, so one of the other nominees, who did a review of this, and it looked like a fantastic game. So when I saw it sitting there for £3, I think they actually dropped it that morning from £5 as well. I was like, yeah, happy to pick it up. So I said to the guy on the checkout, as if it hadn't caused him enough grief, I really want this game, but if I buy it, will you put it in one of the box protectors off one of the other games? It was like, oh, I think at this point probably just wanted to see the back of me, to be honest. It's like, not sure. I'll have a word with my manager to see if that's okay. So I went around the corner, picked up, and spoke to his manager, like, yeah, that's fine. So I took the case off again, put the game back up there. He took it from. As he's come back, I was like, oh, actually, I didn't realise that one was there. I couldn't see it because it was back to front in the case. So someone put it back to front in the Game Gear game. Can I have that one as well with a case? So so he's like, yeah, that's fine. I know what one you mean. I'll get a case off another one. See, the other game I picked up, which I had no intention of buying, but just kind of saw it there, was Wonder Boy on the Game Gear. So I haven't played a Wonder Boy game, actually. I'm a Wonder Boy virgin. With a Wonder Girl. But yeah, this was £4. And put it in the game case protector as well, so £4. So really happy to get those, and pretty much what I've saved on the postage, bought Shinobi or even one of those games. So yeah, very happy to get that. So that cost me £15.50 for all these games. So maybe not worthy of a £5 challenge, or even a £250 challenge. Can't do that until you get 250 subscribers, though, can you? But really nice, modest bunch of games from CEX, all for really decent prices. So if you're into kind of collecting games at the moment, I really recommend having a look at their prices, seeing what's out there, seeing what's about. And yeah, some of the games have really, really dropped in price. So if you go out and see them, it's a really good time to pick them up. And then the last game, we've made it to the end of the video. Facebook Marketplace. That's gone dull again, hasn't it? Now, Facebook Marketplace, as I say, it's a real kind of hit and miss bloody situation with it, where normally, if you see anything, it's already gone, if it's a great offer, or if you do see something and you get in there first, somebody else kind of just comes in there and offers more, and we'll get it anyway. So it's a real frustrating system to use, because you have to be really kind of on it to find something, and then just hope the seller's decent enough to keep it for you. Now this game isn't kind of an earth-shattering one, but it's one I've been after for some time, because I saw it at a boot sale for £1, and for whatever reason I spent money on other games. I didn't have a lot left, so I left it behind, which is absolutely stupid because it is stunning. So yeah, they had a bunch of games, said they wanted £1 each. Just picked out this one for me to have for the collection. So I got a copy of Tomb Raider Anniversary on the PlayStation 2, which is a real lovely kind of collection. It's in this nice slip kind of case, which opens up, and it's got a 3-disc edition in here. So I'll try and do this justice to show you. So yeah, it's got Lara and the dinosaur. It's got Lara and a tomb on the back there. And what it also got, if you open it up, is 3 discs and a manual. Now, I can't get all of this in shot, certainly won't have to show you, but it has got the soundtrack disc, a DVD bonus disc, and obviously the game disc. So yeah, for £1, really happy to finally get this back into my collection. So yeah, that is it, guys. That is my collection of games for the last couple of weeks. Let me know what you think. What was your favourite one out of there? Any games that you picked up recently, or any of these games you tried, I'd really like to know. But yeah, hopefully see you soon, guys. We'll be doing some other different kinds of videos, maybe some gameplay videos. Like I say, got some collabs lined up for the near future. But that is it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and take care. I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.